Hello everyone, this is Shreyans from AskCodi, and today we are running through an example using Codi Chat. It's a chat-based UI for interacting with Codi. It's similar to Codi Workbook, but more in terms of chat. This is a more conversational style, less direct input prompt. So here you can actually talk to Codi. Let's just start off. Hey, can you help me with JS? Of course, I would happy to help you with JavaScript. What aspects of JavaScript are you struggling with? So we have this prompt where basically we want to create a website to convert an image from JPEG to PNG. We need a screen of two column layout. One side user can upload the image and see the image and also let the users. Okay. So let's just send it out and see what it gives out. So it understands that you need to use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. It's not only JavaScript. So it gives a step-by-step process of start by creating the HTML, add event listeners, even a canvas element to convert the image format. So we have our code where we have the title, we have one side to upload the image, we have a converted image section. We also have the JavaScript in the HTML file this time because it understands it's a single file application. It added an event listener. Then we have the format and it converts the image exactly as it needed. It doesn't have CSS into it at the moment. So that's the difference between Codi Workbook and Codi Chat. This is more in terms of conversational. So you need to basically let it know what you exactly need. I also need CSS for this file. So once you prompt it, okay, so now it's telling you, okay, you need CSS to style your HTML file. So it also added a style section where it has the body, container, upload section, and it added a CSS to it, basically making it 2 columns. We'll just wait a couple of seconds for it to finish. And this time it did not repeat the JavaScript code. It only gave out the HTML and CSS. The HTML part came out again because it needed to add the ID and the class to reflect the CSS changes. So it's interactive that way. Okay, now I need to add more image types. So similarly, we want to implement a more robust system so that we can also convert it to other CSS, other image classes. So it goes through the code again. We'll just wait for a couple of seconds for it to finish. Now we have our entire code again from them. It has extended it to also include GIF and SVG. Okay, so this is how you would work with Codi Chat. Just to tell you what these buttons in every message are. So this is the reply button, there's a copy button, and there's a delete button for deleting messages so that you can rewrite the questions. If there's something you need to re-ask, you can just copy paste it. So you can copy both your messages and the user generated messages. To copy the code, it's exactly the same. So you can just click on the code or use the code icon. So your code gets copied. What is this reply button for? Now this reply button is something that if you want to extend, so how Codi Chat works is basically it takes context into options, and usually it takes you a few previous messages to figure out what's going on. So in this message, since you saw the JavaScript code here and it got out exactly, maybe there was some change in JavaScript that we wanted to see, but we didn't get it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to this message where we had the original JavaScript message. We're going to add a reply. This box here basically tells you that the message has been selected for reply. So now when we say add other image types, what this does is it basically asks question specific to that message and only that message. And now when we see Codi generating, we just again wait a couple of seconds before just to let it finish. And now that we see, awesome. So Codi has finished writing its message. Now that we see it added GIF and BMP, it gave out the JavaScript message. What this tells me is it did not take this one into context, but only the message you chose to reply to. And this was and you can see the difference. It all contained SVG, but instead of SVG, this time it has BMP. But this time it also added the script message. So yeah, reply message is basically if the main message goes up too high into your chat, just click on reply, ask a message, and it will be very specific to that message. So it gives you more container-wise functionality where you can ask questions to a specific message as well. Now, just like our workbook example, if we wanted to basically add documentation to this code, we would have to literally write add documentation to the code. And what this would do is, again, since it's a context-based retrieval, so it'll take the previous message into context, and then it'll start, here's an updated version with added documentation. So what it does is basically it took the previous message, and this time it'll gonna take the message right above us, and this time it added comments, so convert the uploaded image to selected format, upload file. This time the code is more commented, more readable, so that's the benefit of this one. Now add create test code. Very vague. I didn't say what to create for, but again, since it's context-based, it takes the previous code and then it writes a test code to verify the functionality of the image converter. As you can see, Codi Chat is not as optimized as Codi Workbook, so it didn't give you test cases. We need to be a little bit more clear. That's why we have the delete function. So let's just delete it. Let's copy paste this one and delete this as well. So write create unit test code for the JS code above. So this time we were a little bit more specific as to what we wanted out of the Codi Chat. We asked it to write unit tests for us. So this time we actually have a function called run tests. And what this does is basically tries to run a unit test and then see exactly if your code is doing what it needs to do. Read a mock, get elements by ID mock. And it tries to mock the entire scenario so that we know exactly it's working as we need it to work. And here we have it. This is how you can work with Codi Chat. To keep track of chat, I would recommend you to change names. So we will call this image converter, and then click yes. So your names and chats are named properly, and then you can keep it this way. If you just want to delete a chat, you have your delete button, then that would probably delete it. You can start a new conversation by clicking on new conversation, and this is how you can work with Codi Chat. Thank you for joining us today.